Okay guys, I've been excited to put this thing in the water. Been up since before 5 this morning. Couldn't sleep last night. Just give you a recap for people that haven't seen my other videos. I bought this boat about 5 years ago and got it for a great deal, like 1,200 bucks. That was the trailer, everything, but that included a blown up motor. That's why it was so cheap. The motor is a V6 Mercury 210 horsepower, two-stroke sport jet. And that is an inboard motor, or actually it's an outboard motor that was converted to use as an inboard on these sport jets. And it's not just Sea-Doo, there's other boats out there that use the same motor, or did in the past. But I figured, I live in Michigan, the home of the Motor City. Everybody and their brother knows how to rebuild a motor. I'll find someone to be able to help me put this thing back together. And the motor was, what happened is cylinder number 6. That's the bottom one on the port side, right? Port's left. The bottom one on the left side seized up, blew up, destroyed the piston, the rod, the liner, but the block was okay. If in retrospect we took it to a machine shop and they said, yeah, your block's okay. We put a new liner in it, and then I bought a new piston. Actually, I bought 2 new pistons for it, and I put it back together myself because I couldn't find anybody that could help me on this engine. This Mercury motor, you know, it's similar to any other motor, but I've got buddies that build racing motors, offshore type motors, but they're automotive design. You know, they're like big V8s, you know, like 454s, 455s, 350s, you know, like a GM type motor. These are Mercury design 2-strokes, and they're a little bit different. There's some differences, but there's a lot of similarities too. But I didn't know anybody that knew how to work on these things. So I thought, you know what, and I looked on the internet, looked on videos, and there's a few videos out there that were very helpful, but there was nothing out there that showed step by step, or at least from beginning to end, how to fix one of these things. So I thought, well, I'll put some videos out there. Hopefully they'll help somebody. It's not a total how-to, but I did put this. I've never built a motor in my life. I've changed transmissions on cars before, changed cylinder heads, things like that, but I've never torn one apart and put it back together. Well, this thing was already torn apart for me when I got it. The motor was sitting on a bench, on a shelf, in pieces, and it was a mess. But it was all there, to the credit of the guy that sold it to me. All the pieces were there, pretty much, and I put it back together myself with some help from other people that I found on the internet, and I got all the manuals for it. Put this thing back together. I started it up last fall for the first time ever. It runs. I've started it quite a few times, but it's time to put it in the water, and today we're going to put it in the water. So we're going to test it out, break it in hopefully, and we'll go from there. But super excited. I put the battery, I still got that battery, it's 13 years old. We could be paddling the boat back to shore, but the lake we're going to is, it's just a small lake. It's not very wide. If I quit somewhere if the motor quits, I've got an oar. I'm gonna bring the oar with me. I'll be able to paddle it to the shore and get it back to the dock. So, but I've got the battery tender on it. It's totally charged, and the battery's never gone dead on me, and you know, I've started it quite a few times, run the starter motor quite a few times, and it still seems to be okay. So we're gonna go with it today. I'll replace that motor later on this summer for sure, but I think we're ready to go. Just putting last minute pieces in, you know, all the gear, you know, the fire extinguishers, the oar, the pool noodles. I'm gonna bring a couple of those in case we have time. We can sit out there and float in the lake. I need life jackets, a throw ring, signal horn, which is I have on my boat, so I can do that. What else? Straps for the boat, lines to tie it to there's no dock there where we're going, but we need lines to be able to hold on to it. Thought my buddy was going to help me today, but he's flying, so he's a professional pilot, and he's got to fly to Orlando today. So my best friend in the world, my wife Lori, is going to help me put this in, and we should do it. My father-in-law had a 21-foot Sea Ray. We've launched quite a few times, but every boat's different a little bit. You know, this is a little bit smaller. The dock I'm going to, I've never the boat launch I've never used before. I've driven by it. I think I can do it. I've got my CRV, which is 4-wheel drive. Should be able to pull us out. And I'm hoping no one's going to be there, so I can take my time. I'm going to take my time anyway, but put it in safely, and we'll go from there.
Hey, what are you doing?
So, we're going to take this boat for a ride. I've had it for 5 years. It's been in pieces for 4 years. I just put the motor together last year. I bought the boat in pieces. The motor was in pieces, it was blown up. So I rebuilt the motor. It starts, it runs, but we don't know if it runs in the lake yet. So we're going to take it to the lake today to see if it will actually go. We're hoping it floats, and we're hoping we can have a nice day on the lake today.
How you feeling?
I'm nervous, I'm jittery, I'm, watch an action-packed movie. You know how your heart's racing? That's kind of like where I'm at right now. So I've got to kind of chill out, take our time, and make sure we have all of our ducks in a row, and put it in the water, make sure it doesn't sink. Got the plugs in the back, so we should be good there. The pump works, so we should be good there.
Have you forgotten anything?
Probably, but I've got a list on my phone of everything I think I need, so I'll check that before we dump it in the water. You don't need to turn the blower on. Typically, if the cover is on, you want to turn the blower on to make sure there's no gases in here. The boat can explode if there's gases in a spark. So we're good though because this is open. Gas gauge works, so it says I only have a half a tank. I think I have 3/4 of a tank, but we should be good for what we want to do today. Okay, I've never seen this. I've seen it, but I've never been in the water here on this ramp. It's a little slick. Straps. Plugs are in. water making those bubble sounds. I'm like, oh, it's sinking. It's going. Alright, good. I don't even have to go back that far. That's great. That ramp is slippery. Hold on to that for me. I'll just, you know what? Hold on, I'll do it. I'm gonna push it back and then I'll bring it back to you. Might need a new hook. That one's a little rusty. Don't let go of the rope. We'll go swimming for it. That was easy, actually. It's a lot easier than loading in a 21-foot sea ray. You stay there. All right, I'm gonna pull this up and park it over there. This out. Hopefully it'll get moving before I. Going. What I need to do is check to see if that thing's shooting water. I don't see it shooting water out. Gives a gas when you turn it. What's in neutral, it'll give a gas when you turn the steering wheel to give it some extra turning power. It's dry, like that. All right, let's go for the ride.
Like you had hoped it would?
Yeah, it's since the engine's new, or it's a new build on the motor, you have to set the ring or seat the rings, and you're supposed to vary the throttle from 2,000 to 5,000 over, you know, a couple of hours. So you're not really supposed to go over 5,000. A couple times you can, but not very much. But not for the first 10 minutes. But then we can do wide open. So we're not really on a plane yet. We're just keeping the engine at lower RPMs until it's broken in. But I think I want to put it on plane. I want to see how fast it goes, but we're not going to do that today.
Hey, how was your maiden voyage?
It was fantastic. The thing started right up. I think I learned the trick on doing that. There's a push button. Pushed it while I turned the key, and it started right up at cold. It ran well. You know, with the engine's new, so you have to just keep it at low throttle, and then medium, and then a little bit higher for at least a couple hours before you can use it at normal speeds or whatever. But yeah, it's fast. We opened her up once just for a few seconds, and it's quick. I mean, it's going to be over 50 miles an hour. It's cool. It handles well. It's easy to,
how long were you out on the water?
Almost 2 hours, wasn't it? So yeah, we the lake's nice and small. It's close by. It's easy to put in. Even if the thing quit, you could row to shore pretty easily. So that was nice. I could see where we're going to want to go and explore some of the other lakes around Michigan, though. It's easy to put in, easy to take out, and it runs well. So we're happy so far.